was a little
Hold on.
leery.
There we go. Oh, sorry.
She was a little leery. She was a little leery about getting up so early. She's got a different schedule, not like Cindy and I, which we get up before the sun comes up every day.
Oh,
We wanted to let you know that the start of every day is not foggy.
Well,
No, it doesn't
Know
look this
that.
way every day.
I'm
It's not
glad
this
to
way
hear
every day.
that.
Yeah. So there's beautiful sunrises here on the Outer Banks.
We do.
Yeah.
I've heard tell of it.
Well,
So you're not a morning person, is what you're trying to say.
I used to be, but not anymore.
You're more. Do you do the late? The
No, I'm
late night?
not a late person either.
She's just the middle of the day. I like her. This
Okay.
is, and
well,
for
you
those
probably
just
get a lot
joining us,
done because most of the world is in the middle of their day.
right?
Just like
Right.
you are.
And for those just joining us, this is Gail from Jewelry by Gail here in Nags Head, over 45 years in business.
Now, let me ask you a question before we talk about this big event that you got coming
Sure.
this weekend. 45 years. What made you choose the Outer Banks 45 years ago? And what made you? What was your interest in jewelry and the art of it and the craft?
I always have a story, and I'll try to keep it short.
Oh, you're
In
fine.
a nutshell,
We're just chilling out.
I never know what is going to take my interest.
Okay.
I never know until it just does.
Right.
And in high school, we had a mystery locker outside the art studios, and I was always leaning towards the arts, but
Okay.
as a primary interest. And the one teacher we had sawed off the lock and opened the locker, and it was filled with tools for making jewelry.
Really?
And
Wow.
it had sterling silver, and it had some stones in it. It had books, all kinds of different things.
Yeah.
And they had certainly locked it up because the precious
Valuables.
metals. Yeah.
Mhm.
But it had been locked up for like 25 or more years.
Wow.
Kind of like a time capsule. That was right in front of everybody.
It was. We
Yeah.
had an event that day opening the
Wow.
locker. And after it was discovered what was in it, the teacher said, well, anyone who might be interested
Mhm.
in learning something about making jewelry, I'll teach it, because he had a background in it.
Wow.
So I thought, well, I'm game. I'll try something new.
Right.
So that's what we did. Several of us went into learning from him how to use the tools,
Mhm.
the copper, the silver,
Yeah.
whatever.
Wow.
And I have no idea why. And without this happening, I don't know that I would have ever known.
It was
But
almost
I
like it was,
fell
like it
in
was
love.
meant to be.
It was.
You know,
It's really
the
weird.
stars lined up for you.
They
there.
did.
That's cool.
And I absolutely fell in love with making jewelry. So in ninth grade,
Right.
after just starting this, I decided
Did something. Sorry, go ahead. Keep going.
I decided pretty much the Outer Banks is where I wanted to make jewelry. Now,
Right.
what do you know it in ninth grade? We had been coming as a family since 1963 on
Okay.
vacations.
From where? Virginia?
Pittsburgh,
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh,
PA.
Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Mhm. And so from that point on, I had just made that decision.
Yeah.
I just never second guessed it. And God bless my parents. They never said, you want to do what? They never discouraged me.
Well, I think you had a positive choice. I think they saw the art in you and
Mhm.
the creativity. I think they thought, well, she's onto something here. I would.
Well, when you're first learning something, you don't know a thing. You don't know what you can do or can't do.
True. That's
You
true.
don't.
That's true.
And so you just begin and you start doing. And I decided to go to college to learn more.
Okay.
And it was my major. And 2 weeks after graduating,
Right.
I moved to the Outer Banks. Middle of May, 1977. So it's 45 years. Every year a miracle.
Yeah.
And truly, the things you know and learn to make an idea come to fruition is very, very important. But what I have learned along the way is the things you don't know, the things you did not learn,
Right.
are actually just as important for not knowing them. Because if I knew then what I know now, as the
You might be dangerous.
That's
right?
true.
I would never have done it
Right.
Wow.
because I didn't know what I was up against.
Sure.
I really didn't know.
You know, that's so funny. People like to look back at the past as a comforting place where they reminisce, and it's all because they know how it turned out.
Right.
They,
That's
they
true.
didn't
Right.
die,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
They're here, so it's a comfortable place for them. It's kind of like that with knowledge too. And you look back. Now, you 77. You open your doors.
Right.
Okay, were you married at that point?
No.
Okay, so you're just gay, right?
Well,
Kind of.
I joined. I was part of at the time what was a store called R&R Junction
Okay,
or R&R Jewelers,
gotcha.
and I had a corner within the store.
All right.
This larger store. They were sort of an artist collective at the time. They had a bead counter where people
Okay.
could be creative on their own. They had Egyptian artifact and
Right.
bead jewelry. They had antique and estate jewelry.
Mhm.
They had a scrimshander doing
I
scrimshaw.
have no idea what that is.
Somebody who does
Scrimshander.
scrimshaw, yeah.
That's a new word.
And
for me.
You scrimshaw.
yeah.
Good morning, Perrin, by the way. She said, good morning, guys. And Gail.
We've got viewers that they watch every day.
Oh,
They're kinda
wonderful.
it's kind of like, remember the old TV show Romper Room?
Oh,
They
yeah.
had a little glass.
Oh, sure.
And she could look in there and go,
Romper
"Hey,
room.
Perrin.
Yeah,
Hey,
okay.
Mary. Well, that's kind of the way I feel when I'm
Ah.
over here and I see all these names. And I don't see their faces, but
No.
they see ours. So we have a lot of friends with this one.
Yes.
Oh, good.
So, all right, you move to Gallery Row, and it becomes Jewelry by Gail, as we all know it today.
Right.
All right, and here we are, 45 years later,
Oh, it's
and
Amazing.
I know that's a blink of an eye because I could remember 45 years too. How do you feel? What's your greatest accomplishment?
oh.
I mean, really, what is it? Having some big star wear a piece of your jewelry, or is it something you've created out of something in your mind? You say, I can't believe I actually pulled that off, but I did.
Well, all of the above has happened.
Yeah.
We've had a roster of stars wear
Mhm.
our pieces, and that was icing on the cake.
Yep.
Something most unexpected, but it happened. And we
Okay.
made it happen.
Right.
And I have a piece in the shop now that I call it's like my pinnacle piece.
Right.
It's hard to describe.
Well, you have to come see it. You'd
Yeah,
almost say,
yeah, you really would.
And then you would describe it.
I can take
Yeah.
you on a tour of the piece.
Sure.
Yeah, it was 12 years in its creation,
Oh wow!
Wow.
but
Nice.
it didn't
Wow.
take me 12 years to make it, but it evolved over
Okay.
12 years.
It was all up in here, exactly what
So
you
there's
wanted
always
to do.
something going on in your store or your
Oh,
shop.
oh,
There's always
yes.
something happening.
Oh yes, never a dull moment.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's so cool. And I've been in there before. There is something for everyone there. There's something that's looking for that very unique, one of a kind piece.
Right, we do that.
Did anybody ever come to you and say, "I want to commission you to make this"?
We do that all the time.
Do you? Okay.
we do.
All right.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Nice.
So somebody had an idea. Or
Depends
something.
on the idea. I'm not a geometric person.
Yeah, I got you, but all right. I understand.
Edges and corners are not my thing.
I got
Straight lines, curvy stuff,
Gotcha.
more organic, flowy,
you.
ribbony.
Sure.
Now, did you make the ring that she has a beautiful ring on her finger? Did you make the ring?
Yes.
On your finger? Okay,
Yeah.
you have to put it in front of the camera. Let people say. Oh, wait, hold on. There.
Check
It's
it
a
out.
beautiful piece. Wow. See? That's gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
Now, in a couple of minutes, we're going to, for those of you that are watching, we take a radio break and go on the show on the radio. We're about to do that with Gail, so bear with us. We're going to be talking about the trunk show that's coming up, the Bahan Trunk Show. 3 big days. Now, Christmas is coming, so listen carefully to what Gail has to say.
Mm-hmm.
And you might consider maybe dropping a hint to that other person that this is going on, maybe, or show up
Oh.
yourself and check it out. Or if you've been looking for something like this for a while and you never thought it would come to the Outer Banks, it's coming.
Parents,
So we'll talk
Perrin
about
says
that.
she's always loved your work. You did a
Aw.
pearl necklace for her mom back in the early 80s.
See? There
See?
you go.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Well, I know we have a history now,
Mhm.
45 years.
You do. All right, we got about a minute and a half. Name a star or two that has worn something that you've created. Now, I know one
Eva
for sure.
Longoria.
Eva
Oh, really?
Longoria.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very
on
good.
the-
Okay, wait. We're gonna do this so you can see. Oh, what I do? Oh, I touched it again. That's
Oh,
what I
you don't have
did.
to Show me.
Yeah, no, we're gonna show it. That's who's talking over in the corner. Hello.
Eva Longoria.
Okay.
Gosh, it's like early.
That
in the
means she had to
morning
come
for me to
here.
recall names.
That means she had to come here to
Um,
pick it up.
Vanessa Williams. She owns a
Wow.
piece.
That's cool. All right.
Mini driver.
Mini
Mini
Driver.
Nice.
These are-
We have a whole binder full of stars that have
That have
worn.
done this.
Wow.
Yes.
That's got to be, I don't know, fulfilling in one sense. It's got to be.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
It is. It is.
absolutely.
Hi, Karen and Michael.
All right,
Thanks
we're going
for
to
joining
talk on
us.
the radio here with Gail from Jewelry by Gail. The Bahan Truck Show is coming up, and we'll be finding out what's happening there. So keep watching.
You're doing great, by the way.
You're home for the killer hits, 102.5, The Shark, Earth, Wind, and Fire. And after the love is gone, it is 8:14. Bill and Cindy with you this morning. A foggy morning, no doubt about that. Dense fog advisory until what, 9, I think?
Yes, low visibility in some places. Otherwise cloudy today, gradually becoming mostly sunny. 70 along the coast, 76 inland. Partly cloudy tonight, slight chance of showers, and 60. Then tomorrow, mostly sunny, breezy, and 70.
All right, tips around the area. Fog included, by the way. 60 in Buxton, 61 in Camden, and 61 in Nags Head right here at the Shark. On the show with us this morning, special guest is Gail from Jewelry by Gail. I know you've heard that name, and if you've lived here or been here or visited the Outer Banks over the years, I know you know about Jewelry by Gail.
And you can also join us live on Facebook, facebook.com/102.5 The Shark.
Welcome to the show, Gail. It's a pleasure to have you
Oh,
here.
thank you. Thanks for having me.
And happy 45 years in business for
Thank you.
Now, you've got something special coming up on the 27th, the 28th, or the 29th. Can you tell us what's happening?
We are having an Alwan Bahan trunk show, jewelry trunk show, 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, coming up starting tomorrow. And Ray Gertz is bringing the entire line. It is a visual treat.
Okay.
It's awesome to see. It's like Pirate's Treasure all as far as the eye can see.
So is it like he shows up with a trunk and he just opens it up and all this stuff is inside?
Well, it comes out of his trunk.
Okay, of his car.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
And it comes in the shop.
we're going to need a bigger trunk. Evidently. That's what it is. All right, so Bahan, they've been around for a while too.
Since 1968, over 50 years.
Wow. All right, so that means a couple of things. You can trust them. They've got
Oh, yeah.
quality. They've got a reputation.
Yes.
What are folks? What kind of jewelry are we talking here?
Well, they're known. They were the originators of the cable design of jewelry. There are many copycats whom shall remain nameless.
Yeah, but they're everywhere.
But
Yeah.
if you come see the Vahan line, you'll see this cable design, and then you'll recognize who the copycats are.
I see what you're talking about.
And Vahan's quality is unsurpassed, and it is so comfortable. It's an excellent design concept to combine with pieces you already have at home
Oh,
that have a whole different look. They combine with pieces I've made. I do that myself. I wear Vahan with my pieces,
okay.
and they work with vintage, antique. I mean, you can do lots of different combinations. It's a very timeless, classic look, but it can change up the look of things you
Mhm.
already own too.
Now, do you think this is how Bahan is endured with the success, just having the look they have and the quality? 50 years, I mean, it's,
Yes.
you know,
Well, it was started by one family member
okay.
in '68.
All right, so they've kept on going, and you
And
said
they
timeless and classic.
Yeah, it is,
just that
but it's
look.
not boring by any
Right.
means.
Right. Now, the timing of this trunk show is good for a couple of reasons.
Well, yes, the holidays are coming,
Hmm.
and these pieces are made to order, so it does take time to make them, and that's why we wanted to have the show early enough that if somebody wanted something made, or
Aha.
there'd be
They
time,
have time
to
to
do it.
plan it. Exactly. Get
Right.
it. Think ahead. Plan ahead.
Mhm.
All right, so it's the 27th, 28th, and 29th, right there at your shop. You've been there for years and years, right? In Gallery Row, as we call it here
Right.
in Jackson. What will people see when they walk in the door? What's the atmosphere during the trunk show?
Well,
Is it controlled chaos? Is it like do we have to golf clap and stuff like that? Or- No,
controlled chaos.
controlled chaos. Okay.
Yeah, my philosophy in this stage of my
Right.
life is if it's not fun, I ain't doing it.
Okay, very good.
Love it.
All right. Gail from Jewelry by Gail, it's really a pleasure. First time on the show with us, and it's so good to talk to you. And I'm excited about this trunk show. Really am. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I might mention this to Miss Thomas, and it might show up.
Well, that would be awesome.
And what's,
You know?
and what's your address so people can find you?
Oh, let's see. Oh, yes, I remember it. 207 East Driftwood Street, Nags Head.
There you go.
We are between the highways
Yeah.
and across from Glenyer's Gallery.
Yeah.
Milepost 10 1/4.
All right. There
There
you
you
go. Now, Gail's going to stay with us on our Facebook Live for another 20 minutes. If you want to switch over and watch that, you can. We'll learn a little bit about her and some of the history of, and maybe what she thinks about some things that you just wonder about.
And then we get to hang out with her tomorrow, too, between 1 and 3.
That's
Woohoo!
right. We'll be broadcasting live on the air everywhere, but we'll be somewhere with Jewelry by Gail.
Perfect. You did
Okay.
great. All right, now we're still on camera. And we're still having, let's see, Michael said we're getting closer to the weekend. He said hi. Karen said happy Wednesday. Bethy, you fixed her engagement ring. Great job. You also fixed the necklace my daughter gave me so I can wear it all the time now. Let's see. Awesome. Wonderful. Wonderful. All right. Loving this.
I love it when people show genuine compliments and have great experiences and memories with people
Yes.
that dealt with in business. And, 45 years, you've been around long enough, you've created relationships
Yes.
with customers. Over
We
the
have
years.
customers that
Yeah.
are with us 45 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, I'm guessing you check prongs. and
Oh, yeah, we
stuff?
do
Okay,
everything.
because I'm going to
Oh,
have
my
to drop
goodness.
these off for you guys to.
We've set dog teeth
Right.
in gold.
Wait,
Oh, wow.
what? Dog teeth? Okay, so
Yes.
yeah, explain some of your custom pieces. Like, what is something, a dog's tooth, I would have never come up with that one. But what if I brought you, say, an old brooch of my grandmother's that had different gems in it?
Mhm.
And I said, I want this on some kind of charm that I can wear on a necklace. How would your thought process be on creating something?
We have done exactly that a number of times. You can always take family pieces, and if they're not suiting you as they are designed, we could change that, make it something,
Make it your own.
make it your own. And my design process is really different than maybe anybody else's. I don't know, but I started out drawing pictures, but it was way too limiting. If I put something on paper that, okay, this is what it's going to look like,
Mhm.
then that's what I'm stuck doing. But
Aha.
Yeah.
but what I have learned over the years is the materials. This will sound crazy, but okay. The stones, the materials, the gold, the metals have a part in it. They have something to say.
Right.
Mhm.
And when I am tied to a picture,
Mhm.
the pieces, the items I'm using to reset, redesign, that might not be what they want. I kid you
understand.
not. I mean,
Right.
you
It
go
might look different once you start doing it than
Then
Right, I get
they
it.
might
when
have
you
in
go
mind.
to do what you've drawn,
Yeah.
and it won't work. It will not work.
That's something.
This
not the
stone
right
doesn't want to be
flow.
there. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I got
And
it.
so I decided early on that I needed the freedom to have that conversation with the materials
Mhm.
and let them tell me also
Sure.
what they wanted as well as what I wanted them to do. And so it's a collaboration. I know that's crazy, but I swear that's how it
it's
works.
not. It's
No.
you've gotten comfortable with your complete surroundings and what you're doing, and you realize that every part of a piece that you're putting together, like you said, has something to say.
It does. For
You know,
me,
it has a place.
jewelry traditionally is the metal work in many cases, not all cases
Yeah.
by any means, but in many cases, it's a framework only, like a skeleton to present the
Mhm.
stones. My pieces, the setting and the stones have equal conversation.
Gotcha.
And I have many designs of my own that I've developed. And when I'm working for someone, we will pick a genre. We'll pick one of the categories of designs that I
Mhm,
do,
mhm,
and I will
mhm.
work within that. But
Makes sense.
until the piece is done, I don't know exactly what it's going to
So
be.
it's maybe similar to this, but not exact.
Oh, right,
when you
right.
did it.
Everything's one of a
Gotcha.
kind.
Okay.
Gotcha. That's what.
And we were. I'm always interested in. We're around. We listen to musicians every day. We talk about famous people and pop culture and Hollywood and glitz and glam. And
Frost
you were
yourself.
starting to talk about some of the people that have worn your jewelry. And I saw a beautiful piece a year ago this past weekend. There's a bluegrass artist.
Yeah, Rhonda
that-
Vincent.
that- she's like the queen of bluegrass.
She is.
If you know what that genre is. And
I
you
think
know,
I saw
she's
her
a-
last year.
Yeah.
She had
she
Daryl's.
had a
You know.
beautiful piece on it. Man, she was grinning from ear to ear. She was so happy to wear that. What kind of reaction do some of these folks get when they, because we've seen the movie you always talk about.
Frost yourself. It
Yeah,
was
okay.
13.
Oh, I haven't seen that movie.
Right.
No, it's called How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Yeah, it's Matthew
With Kate
McConaughey
and Kate Hudson.
Oh,
And they go to the
A
Delawars.
soiree.
Yes, the Delawars.
Yeah.
They're the biggest diamond importers or
And
something in
there's
this movie.
Bling
And there's
floating around everywhere.
Yes.
She gets this beautiful piece.
and they end up coming up with an ad
Yeah.
campaign called Frost. And
Exactly.
she has an accent like this, and oh, would you please get me whatever it is, And so then she does the commercials, and she's frost yourself, and she's dripping in diamonds, and
Oh, I like
and
that.
but yeah. So that's why I always say frost yourself.
So do people get excited when you present this piece to them and say, this is yours to wear?
Oh, it's so fun.
Yeah.
The reveal.
Right. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. That's right.
That's my favorite moment. And I really like having the person I am making something for there. Now, that
Right.
can't always be the case if
It
it's
could be a surprise,
gift.
right?
Yeah, true.
But my favorite moment is the reveal. And there's usually tears involved and
Yeah, I'm sure.
hugs. And it's really, it's
I was like, oh my gosh, that was my grandmother's. Now I can wear
Yeah.
it every day.
Yeah, that
for
would be
me,
a big one because
a piece is not complete till the right person is wearing it. They complete the piece.
true.
And
And with estate pieces, the family, let me say family
Right.
pieces, you've got the assumption that it's just going to sit there because it needs some work done, and you just never get around to
The ring is
getting that work done, and
Yeah.
suddenly you bring it back to life and make it usable again.
oh, sure.
And that's got to be really,
Whether
really
it's through
special.
repair, restoration,
Yeah,
or resetting.
Yep, family memories come into play. And you remember seeing your grandmother wear this at
Mhm.
one time or whatever, something like that. So,
My grandmother was big in Eastern Star, and so she had a
Oh,
bunch
yeah.
of the little Eastern Star pins. Well, my mother was never Eastern Star.
Right.
When my grandmother passed away, my mother took a bunch of her Eastern Star pins because she had tons of them. And she had a couple rings designed out of the
Yeah.
stones that were in her Eastern.
Yeah.
And so she could always say, I'm wearing my mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a short little segment. We stop down here and talk about today in music history. It takes about a minute or so.
Oh, we're
Just
running
stay
late
here
today.
with us.
That's okay.
We'll go through that. We
Mhm.
might, if you want to have some input in that, you just chime right in.
Okay.
You're part of the show.
I'm
at
going
this
to pull
point.
this down. Yeah, you're still.
And after
sit back,
that,
relax.
we'll talk again about the trunk show. And
Yes.
Remind everybody of when that is, and re-invite
And
everybody over.
I have to. Is this a Vahan on your?
It is
Okay, we have to show the audience here real quick. This is a Vahan.
combined with my bracelet.
There you
Okay, so
go.
that's a Jewelry by Gail bracelet on the bottom, and that's a Vahan on the top. Ha ha! Look at me. I'm recognizing this stuff now.
You are.
I got a second career coming. No, not really. Right here. Kids do best thing. You're doing great, by the way.
Is it okay?
Yeah, you're fine. They can still hear us, by the way, but they know this is behind the scenes.
Your station for the killer hits 102.5, The Shark. John Cougar at that time later became John Cougar Mellencamp, and now he's just John Mellencamp.
No, it's just a little ditty.
And there was just a little ditty about Jack and Diane. It's 8:27. Bill and Cindy with you. We got Jewelry by Gail in the studio with us. Gail from Jewelry by Gail. And she's going to go through today in music history with us today.
Yes.
And it's going to be a first for her, I guarantee it.
Yeah.
But weather-wise, it's a dense fog advisory until 9. What's the deal? Still slow driving?
Yes, until about 9 o'clock, you could see some dense fog. Slow, take your time. Don't use your high beams. Just prepare. You know what to do when there's fog. Otherwise, cloudy, gradually becoming mostly sunny this morning. High 70 along the coast this afternoon and 76 inland. Partly cloudy tonight, slight chance of showers, and 60 then tomorrow, mostly sunny, breezy, and 70.
Right now, 60 in Plymouth, 58 in Grandy, and 60 in Kill Devil Hills.
It's time for This Day in Music History. It's brought to you by your forever realtor, Christy Bryant. Looking to buy or sell her home? Christy Bryant is ready to talk to you. Call 252-217-5771 or log on to christywithaniBryant.kw.com.
All right, it was 2011. Aerosmith was forced to delay a concert in South America after Steven Tyler fell in his hotel bathroom. Not a good thing. The singer suffered cuts to his face and lost 2 of his teeth in this
Ouch.
little accident.
Ow.
That was ahead of a big show that was set for that night in Prague. And he said he was going to have to receive stitches and have a little bit of emergency dental work done.
Ouch.
And he just was not presentable for that evening's show, so
Well,
they canceled the gig for 24
He
hours.
has to look good. I mean, even though he's not very attractive, there's something that's very, very sexy about that man, and he can't not look that way.
Gail, you got to know something about Cindy. I think she kind of likes Aerosmith just a little bit.
Oh, just a little.
Just
Just a
a little
wee
bit,
bit.
yeah.
Just a wee bit.
All right, 2003 American Idol runner-up Clay Aiken was #1 on the charts with "Measure of a Man," following his win there on American Idol. And 2002, Jessica Simpson married former 98 Degree member Nick Leahy.
Lachey.
Lachey.
So you obviously don't know 98 degrees, but
I'm
that's okay.
only 96.
That's
degrees,
okay.
barely. Not quite favorable like these two are. And they became MTV's newlyweds on the new TV show.
In 1985, Whitney Houston went #1 on the U.S. singles charts with "Saving All My Love for You."
Pretty soon.
And Barry White, he scored his only U.S. #1 album with "Can't Get Enough" back in 1974. The Queen, the late Queen of England, presented the Beatles with their MBEs at Buckingham Palace in England, the most
Okay.
excellent order of the British Empire back in 1965. Now, the Order of the British Empire was established by King George V in 1917 to honor those who had served in a non-combative role and expanded the order to reward contributions to the arts, sciences, charitable work, and public service.
Seemed like a perfect fit for the Beatles.
I think so.
I think so too.
I think so. I think Gail could get one too.
I'd
But
like,
yeah,
like to thank the
the
Queen
arts
on
part.
behalf of I could
Yes,
hear them.
I'd like to thank the Queen. Yes, the late Queen. Oh, thank you.
All right, birthdays today, as far as musicians are concerned. 1951, William Bootsy Collins, guitarist and singer with James Brown, Parliament, Funkadelic, born in Cincinnati, Ohio.
1952, David Weiss, musician and producer of Was Not Was, like Walk the Dinosaur. Remember that
Yep, I do.
that song?
Mhm.
I have no comment on that. He was born on this day in 1952 in Detroit, Michigan.
All right, 1953, it was Julie and Keith Strickland, drummer for the B-52s, Rock Lobster,
Rock Lobster.
born in Athens, Georgia. And that is today in music history.
Let's do some bow time.
All right.
Let's do some Bojangles.
All right,
Right
okay.
now, we're going to give you a sausage biscuit and a 2-piece dinner if you are one of our qualifiers and we randomly choose you. You need to text us the keyword sausage, SAUSAGE, to 252-441-1025 so you can qualify for that breakfast and dinner.
All right.
Okay.
There you go.
It's bow time. My headphone battery just
All
died, but that's okay.
All right. We ran over just a little bit on our stream, guys, but I know you've told us
Who
before.
cares?
That doesn't matter to you guys. You guys will watch
You can
for as
sit
long
here
as you can.
We could sit here and do this all day.
Gail, thank you for coming in today.
Oh, thanks for having
It's
me.
good
All right.
to see you.
So trunk show, 10 to 5,
Mhm.
Thursday, Friday,
Friday,
Saturday at Jewelry by Gail. We are going to be there tomorrow between 1 and 3 hanging out with Gail.
Yeah.
But come on out, bring a little bit of moolah with you and pick up some nice presents from mom or girlfriend or wife or sister or yourself or whatever. And I'm sure you probably have pieces men can wear too, correct? Maybe something.
There's a few bracelets that Vahan does that do translate well for men.
Okay.
See, there you
awesome.
go.
Very good.
There you go. And who knows? They might have some, like, if you have your ear pierced, which Mr. D.
Yeah,
will
there
every
you
now-
go.
Every now and then, Mr. D will grab
Yeah.
this. I
Mhm.
just wear like the cheap hoop earrings because I lose them all the time. But I'll walk in and he's sitting there and I'll go, I'm a pirate with showing off my hoop earring. Good morning, Gary. What do we? Oh yeah. But yeah, so that's come on by.
All right. I wish all the success. I hope everybody has a great time at your event.
Oh,
Gary
we will.
Grabowski. Gary Grabowski
Oh,
says Gail knows me.
Yes, I
Oh,
do
cool.
indeed.
See? There you go.
Hello.
Wave at everybody. We're
Oh.
going to roll the credits.
All right, I gotta roll the credits. Hold on.
Roll
Michael,
the
so what
credits.
can you use your
Go.
Bojangle pass?
And wave. Goodbye.
You can use your Bojangles passes at Bojangles, Michael.
Yeah, not a jewelry by Gail.
No, not a
No.
jewelry by Gail. Okay,
You
bye,
can
Gail.
bring food though.
We're fresh
Yeah, you
out
can
of
go to Bojangles.